Thank you first of all for giving us such a beautiful movie, such a gem.
Thank you, Ronika. I
Uh,
have been talking to you forever
yeah.
through my other films and in between also. And this interview is long pending.
Yes. So tell me, this is like more than a love story. And though of course I always call you a balladeer of romance, but this is certainly more than a love story. This is also, a love for one's roots.
Again.
So what does home mean to you personally?
I think in this film I figured out that who you were when you were home is the person that you miss all your life. I think Ishar, for instance, in this film, when he was Kino, he misses himself being Kino. I feel that return to being that person is what everybody yearns for. And home is really the version of yourself when you were at home.
But tell me, in times when Pakistan bashing is such a, so almost like fashionable, what made you, tap into the nostalgia for, in a way, for that, for
See,
those roots?
I feel that this film, Main Vaapas Aaunga, is a film based in unpartitioned India
Right.
before
More.
Pakistan was created. So there's no like Pakistan, loving Pakistan or hating Pakistan.
Hmm.
There is no basis for that. What is also happening is that uh, as far as hatred is concerned, all the people that I met in Punjab, whose stories I have heard, first-hand stories, none of them spoke about this hatred. The people that have actually suffered partition have, and we can test it, they are still there. They don't talk about hatred. So this story was based, obviously, inspired by all the stories that I've heard about partition from people that have seen partition with their own eyes. So hatred couldn't come.
Yeah, but in fact, one of the most beautiful things about that generation, and which you bring out beautifully, is that how though they were affected by violence,
Yeah.
they only remember love, and how
It's really amazing.
yeah.
It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. And that's the reason why this story was very, very important to people.
But you don't shy away from showing some violent parts also, which has been shown in many movies. Even Kamal's had one of those the similar kind of scenes which Dolly Ahluwalia does in this in
Acha.
your movie. If you remember Tamas the series,
Yeah, Thomas, yeah.
yeah. If any movie or any book on partition may have affected you.
Oh yeah, I read many books on partition. I've also seen movies on partition, and like I remember many of them. And I'm sure that subconsciously, all the books that I've read, all the stories that I've read, and poetry that I've read, um, and the movies that I've seen have all affected me. However, what has affected me the most is actually the story of people. When somebody says this happened to me, that becomes a very, very engaging and a very first-hand report. You can almost picturize it yourself about how it would have been for him to have gone through that incident. Or what Dolly Ahluwalia did in this film has happened, unfortunately, hundreds and hundreds of times. Maybe Monica, 68,000 women were sexually assaulted within the space of the partition time. Can you imagine that number? And so many things would have happened. So I did not want to gloss over it. I did not see this film is a very personal film. It's the account of one kino, right? But I did not want to make a film in which there is no mention of violence at all. There was violence, and we can't deny it. So, if somebody is seeing a love story taking place in unpartitioned India, one must also see or register the fact that a lot of bad things happened when partition happened, and we must remember it because we are otherwise going to repeat it.
But any one book on partition you would like to recommend to the young of in
I think a book that I read on Partition a lot is Freedom at Midnight. I think it is the mother of all Partition books, and it is quite exhaustive. It's been written by
Yeah,
um,
Dominic.
it's been written by Dominic Lapierre and what's how the second name I'm forgetting, but
Yeah. But have you seen that there's been a series also
I've
on
not
it?
seen the
It's a
series. No, I've not seen the series because I was reading it so much, and I was making this film at that point of time, so I couldn't. I couldn't watch the series.
But in your movies, your love for Punjab is a constant. But when you think of Punjab, what is the image that first comes to your mind?
Fields, Kanak ke fields,
Answer.
and swing in the breeze.
But your movies are much more than that.
Most movies are more than that, but that's just the image that comes. And but that's the first image that comes. It is kind of rural, and but there is also an excitement in the land.
But as you're saying, the movie Main Vaapas Aaunga is picking up, with almost with each passing day. Many of your movies, most of your movies, even when they have not worked in cinema halls, have become masterpieces. Tamasha, for instance, people remember it so well. But what is more gratifying for a maker, to have instant success or for the movie to pass the acid test of times?
I would like I feel movie is permanent. There is a saying we have in the film industry that pain is temporary,
Huh.
cinema is permanent.
Okay.
And of course, for a film to be remembered for a long time is extremely gratifying. But I would like the films that I make to be viewed on big screen. I would like the big cinema experience for the viewings of my film, and for that, it's very important for me that films of mine are watched in the theater, and also commercially. It makes sense for the producer if the film does well in the theater rather than anywhere else. So I feel that this film has achieved that for me.
But
This
as
film people are liking and talking about, and uh, while it is still playing in the theater, today is the fifth week in Chandigarh, shows have been increased.
Yeah. But as you're moving from theater to theater, you come to Chandigarh and you're going to cinema halls. What is the most heartening thing that you may have experienced? What is that one memory that will stay indelible on your mind?
There's the strange thing is that young people who have nothing to do with the partition of India,
Yeah.
they have also associated with it. So there is this young girl who I met recently in Calcutta, because I was in Calcutta before coming to Chandigarh. She said, "Now you have shown this kind of relationship. What should I do now? How will I find such a person?" And she was complaining. She was not joking. She was in tears. And I felt that that was just so moving for me.
Yeah, in fact, one of you, the fact is that the movie is history, but it's also contemporary.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the third hand report of partition. It's the grandson talking to his grandfather and report.
But did you have this in mind when making a
Yes.
movie that but you love doing this, comparing the yesteryear love to today's love. But do you feel that love is also as constant as cinema is?
Oh yes, of course. Cinema is less constant than love is, I feel. So love is the one constant thing in this universe.
And one Punjabi word you are in love with, and any lines, Punjabi lines that are mantra for you.
The Punjabi lines that I know are all lines from songs of Chamkila.
Okay,
So I
yeah.
better not say them here.
Okay, all right. But one word which you think totally, defines the essence.
Chardi Kala.
Chardi Kala, which
Chardi
is the
Kala is
essence
the
of.
right word for
Okay,
me.
your next is going to be Heer Ranja, but why did you feel the need to make this after Laila Majnu? I mean, like, that's the eternal love story we've already seen. Though, of
So-
course, you didn't direct it.
Yeah, so Sajid has directed Laila Majnu,
Right.
and that film did not do anything when it released, but when it re-released, it shattered and broke all records and made so much money and gave so much impetus to Laila Majnu that there is a whole community of Laila Majnu fans, And the success of the re-release was so much that the same group, Preeti, Ekta Kapoor, and Sajid got together with me to make this film, Heer Ranjan. And I'm really looking forward. The film shooting
So
has been
what is
started.
Hiranja going to tell us, which Leila Majnu did?
Oh, you have to watch the film for that, you know.
Okay. Anything you would like to say to your fans, which as I can see are plenty, who may still not have seen the film.
Well, of course, any director would want everybody to watch their film, watch it in the theater, watch it in the big screen. For that, we have made this film, and
But why should they watch?
I don't know. I don't. There's no reason for you to watch it if you don't feel like. I, if you, but if you feel like, then go out and watch it in the theater.
मैं वापस आऊंगा. Each time one of our favoriteest directors, Imtiaz Ali, returns, he gives us a gem. Ever since we met him on screen, in cinema, in a vast number of his movies like Jab We Met, Highway, he has taken us on a journey of love and longing. Thank you, Mr. Imtiaz, for talking to us, and thank you for making such a beautiful film.